Good evening. The board will now come to order. Welcome to the Vergne Board of Zoning Appeals, regular meeting January 30th, 2018, the regular meeting at 5:30 p.m. I call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum, and we will proceed by reviewing the minutes from the last meeting.
Can I make a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
We have a motion to accept the minutes as presented and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved as presented. Tonight we have 3 items of new business and no old business. The first item of new business tonight is a sign variance requested by the Bozeman Sign Company for TNT Fireworks, properly located at 5016 Murfreesboro Road, C2 Highway Service Commercial Zoning District, parcel owned by the Bowers Girls Limited Liability Corporation. Who has the reports for tonight in lieu of Bo?
Adam, is Bo, is he running late or? Mr. Chairman, I know that you have the information in your packet in front of you. I think there's a report.
Yes.
Am I wrong? Okay.
Yes.
Basically, from my understanding of this, TNT has made a request to pretty much on the B&B fireworks. As you can see in the packet, you have some pictures.
We do.
Right.
You'll look through those pictures, basically, and Randolph, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there was an application made to change the signage at B&B Fireworks to this new signage that you see in the packets. And of course, the signage it exceeds the size requirements that we do have. So that's why it's being brought in front of you tonight. And if you'll look at page 1, of course, you're looking at the front of the building, and page 2, you'll be able to see that looks like there's a rocket and a black cat and some other fireworks going off on the front. That's going to be, looks like, covered over, and you'll see the TNT logo and of course fireworks in the center. And then if you look at the 3rd page, you're looking at the eastern side of the building or face of the building. And of course you see B&B Family Fireworks with a black cat, and it's real large. Stands pretty much almost the entire length of the building, and of course that will be replaced with the TNT logo with fireworks on it, as you see on page 4. And then on it's page 5, you'll see the western face of the building. It's got black cat, B&B Family Fireworks, largest display across the majority of the building, and I think at the back it says something like Red Devil. I'm sure all these are firework names and stuff. It looks like that Red Devil piece, and that's what it looks like that will stay, but it looks like they're covering over the rest of it, and it says TNT Fireworks. That may be something that the applicant would want to probably do some clarification on, just to see if that's going to stay or not.
All right.
And then, of course, the sign out front, I was kind of a little bit confused on this one that's what's in your packet. The sign out there says B&B Family Fireworks. My assumption is they're going to change that to TNT Fireworks, but what's in the packet still just says B&B Family. So I think you want some clarification on that. So if you'd want to call the applicant up, I think it would be appropriate to get some clarification on this.
Thank you, sir. A representative here? Would you take the podium, please? Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Brock Strickland. I represent TNT Fireworks. Our corporate address is 4511 Helton Drive, Florence, Alabama, 35630.
Alabama. Okay. Any comments you want to make?
Yes. What I'd like to say is, we're looking forward to doing business in the city of Vergne. We had a relationship with the Bowers family as a wholesaler. We sold to them for a number of years, and what we would like to do with the building is take a building that's, when you look at the signage and everything, it's while it's got extensive signage, it's not been maintained very well, we would like to say. While we are exceeding the square footage, we're looking at a significant reduction in the overall square footage of the sign. We want to take the building, we want to clean the building up, we're going to paint it solid white, and then hang just our normal illuminated sign on it. It would say fireworks and then have our company logo. I think these, and you have to forgive me because I've kind of lost my bearings in here. So the side with the elevation with the least amount of signage on it is 480 square feet. We're going down to 140, I think it's 144. And then the elevation along Walden Road, which was where the Red Devil you were talking about.
Yeah, Walden Road would be the eastern side I was talking about.
The eastern side. The Red Devil will actually come down. I think that was just a mistake by
Okay.
the artist for not covering that up. But along that side, there is currently, let me get to it. There's 704 square feet of signage on that side, and we'd be going down to 144 on that side as well. So, and then across the front would be going down, it'd be 46 square feet, the way we measure signage across the front. So,
Just for a point of clarification, before we actually get to the actual signs.
okay,
On that last one where you're talking about the TNT fireworks, I'm talking about the area that is alongside of Walden Road.
correct.
Okay, your sign stops short of the double glass doors.
Yes, sir.
As it is right now, where it says the devil sign there, that extends all the way down to the end of the building, and in fact, it continues, it looks like there's a fence down there, but those are actual trailers down there. Are all those going to, is all that going to be whitewashed or
Yeah,
painted?
those
or
are
something?
storage containers, I
Right.
think around back. Yeah, we'll cover those up. We can paint them a solid black or anything like that if you'd like. And the Red Devil will be covered up as well.
And then on the other side, that is just across the parking area from the tire place?
Yes,
the
sir.
Same thing, same treatment to the building going to be there too?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we can get to the signs itself.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make a clarification on what I was saying. Basically, like he's saying, it's going to paint over all that. I don't want to mislead the board. I think I was probably saying that they're going to paint or put over. He's saying there's going to be illuminated signs. That's what's going to be on there, is an actual illuminated sign. So just so you know.
Right, the
Yeah, it's-
TNT fireworks.
Yeah, that's going to be
Yes.
illuminated, like a probably raised. I don't know how
It
thick
is.
it is, but it's a raised sign. I just wanted to make sure you knew that. I didn't want to.
Well, I caught that when he made his
Yeah.
remarks.
I want to state that, and the other thing I'd probably get is Bo's interpretation as far as, that way you know how much it's exceeding, what the requirements would be, that way he can tell you how much they're exceeding.
Exactly.
Yeah, the ordinance would allow, it normally allows 225 square feet. If you count a sign at the street and a wall sign, that's 225. And then our ordinance says the applicant can request another wall sign if they're visible from more than one public street, which I surmise this location is visible from Walden Road. So then that would allow them another 100-foot wall sign, so 225 plus 100 would be 325. And they're asking for, I believe it's 679 square feet, counting all four signs. You have to count the pole sign, even though they're not counting it as part of this package, because the ordinance says you're allowed 325, including a street sign, which I'm calling a pole sign, and a wall sign, or two wall signs, if there's two public streets. So they have to count the sign at the street, so that's how I got nearly 680 square feet.
Thank you.
So it's about double. They're asking about double of what the ordinance.
It's allowed by the codes. Board members have any questions?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. So on the car park that faces onto Walden Road, is that your property?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
The car park. So if you look in the building from Walden, from Mossbar Road, from the front of the building, is that car park that you see there in that picture, is that part of your property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know if you're aware, but there are some additional buildings going to go up where the BP station used to be.
I was
there's some plans in the works. It's not come through yet, but it's in the works.
Okay.
So at some point in time, the concept of being able to view from Walden Road may or may not go away.
Okay.
The property's been there in business for how many years?
1973, almost 45 years.
So you concur that the majority of people that have been in Rutherford County and southern Davidson County know where the fireworks store is?
I would say yes and no. I'm not real sure about how transient this community is. I know it's growing exponentially, but
Right.
I have not done the research to see how transient it is. So I couldn't answer that question honestly.
Well, from my perspective, I mean, it's very well known where you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an issue if you want fireworks and you want to go indoors to buy them in an air-conditioned facility, that's where you go. During the July the 4th time period and New Year's Eve, if you want to go outside, obviously the tents go up.
Yeah.
My point being is that people know where it's at, and you're asking for a very large area, in my opinion. We're endeavouring, you are in what's known as an overlay district because of the street layout. You're not imposing on that because you're not extending the business itself. However, we have got some in plans of some property around your area and across the street that are going to go up, and obviously they're going to fall into the requirement of the overlay district plan. Therefore, their exterior must meet the new codes. So with that in mind, I just have with the amount of signs you're going to put up, I think is excessive for what you're looking at doing.
Okay.
That's just my comment, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
If I could address that, I understand the concern about the Rutherford County area, but keep in mind that the way the Tennessee state law works for fireworks sales, B&B has never really advertised outside of the city of Laverne. When we met with the Bowers girls, and, we talked to them, okay, how do you get your customers, et cetera. They were running a couple of small ads in local newspapers for the most part. We are blessed we have a national name. We're the nation's or the country's largest fireworks supplier. We'll be advertising significantly over into Davidson County and all the way across the Nashville metro area. So while Rutherford County residents are probably familiar with it, the sales that we'll bring in, the tax revenue that we'll bring in from outside of Rutherford County and outside the city of Laverne, those individuals probably are not. So just to keep that in mind.
I tend to agree with Graham that the sign that you have in front of the building is a pretty good size sign. And you can see that coming in from Davidson County. You can see that from Walden Road, and you can see that from Murfreesboro Road, the frontage road there. So, and also the sign that is just across the alleyway, if you will, from the tire place. The tire place pretty well blocks out most of that. So we're talking basically on Walden Road. And if there are going to be some other structures there, then the sign is not going to do you as much good as you think it's going to do. So I would like to see you offer a reduction of the amount.
We can do that. Would it be sufficient if we reduced the signage and gave up, I guess it would be the west-facing sign between us and the tire store? Would that be so? I'm sorry?
It's the east side.
Is it the east? I'm turned around, I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, the
Okay.
tire store would be the east side of the building.
Okay,
What you're looking at right here would be the west side. That's what you would view if you was
Okay.
coming down Walden Road.
Bull, if they gave up the sign facing the tire store, what are we looking in square footage then?
One is 333 square feet, so that would be on the north side of the building, the side facing Nashville. And the south facing, or southeasterly facing, is 216 square feet. So 216 if it's the one facing Murfreesboro.
So they would be how much over the code then?
673 minus 216, so 473, 463, 457 instead of 325.
so 130
57.
square feet.
So, but let's just take one at a time. The front on the front of the building that they propose, which has a TNT on both sides and fireworks in the middle, what's the size of that in total square feet?
That is, the TNT ovals are 6.5 square feet roughly each.
So that's 13, okay.
And then the fireworks is 41 square feet. You know, we could also offer a reduction there and just do maybe a larger TNT oval in the middle, if you would like. Or take the ovals off and just leave the fireworks. Obviously, we would rather just have the fireworks on there.
I think I'm just in my opinion, determine what the rest of the other the board has said. Basically, is that if you look in the front of the store and we're different on the left and the right sides. I mean, we'd like to see that tidied up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with your proposed signs that you have there, putting the fireworks down the side, it's just gonna A, it's over the top of the requirement for what we're looking for, and B, I don't think that this board or the city is looking for that. I think with your frontage onto Mersborough Road and your pole sign, that's going to meet what you're looking for. That's what I'm looking towards doing. But let's get the sides cleaned up so that it does look back where it should be and looking like a proper store.
Okay.
One other thing that hasn't been mentioned, what about those fireworks signs?
Oh, we are going to remove, you're talking about the illuminated
Yes,
poles
yes.
that are
They
non-functional?
haven't worked for 40, 50
Yeah,
years.
we're going to remove those.
Good,
You know, the
good.
plan is to remove those and take those down. Yes.
Okay.
We prefer not to have those. We have I guess a national look, and that's not part of our national look. So
Right.
we like a good, solid, clean look.
Right,
So-
and that's what we're after too
We'll
for the
be,
city.
we'll be removing those.
And you'll be one of the first establishments that people will see coming into Rutherford County, coming in from Davidson
Mm-hmm. Right.
County. So it's important to establish that
Well,
look.
we look at every location as a partnership with the city and the community.
Exactly,
You know,
we appreciate that.
So yes, we want to be a good citizen, and we also want to appear good for the community.
Right.
We don't want to be an eyesore.
Exactly,
guess.
we appreciate that.
I believe the sign on this, next to the Tower World there, won't be seen as much as the other side because people who's going on, it's 4-lane highway, but sitting on the other side of the road. You probably could do away with that one, look like to me.
Yeah, that's what I was proposing.
Okay.
We could do
The
it.
tire store, yeah.
Let me go back to the opposite side from the tire store. You know, what's going to happen is you're going to have a building go up, the BP station is going to come down. We've not seen anything definitive, but we know it's coming.
Mhm.
So before long there, you're going to have, another facility there, and that's going to minimise the face you're looking at there. So I'm just, myself, I'm looking at to have them remove both either side of the building and just have the pole and the fireworks on the front of the store. That's what I think would.
Do you have a timeline on that building coming down?
I do not, so I don't own the property. I just know it's been in the works, and it's, I don't know when.
I will tell you the way the state of Tennessee fireworks law works. This B&B fireworks location might actually not be legal at the end of 2020. So, just keep that in mind. We're trying to come in here and, the way the Tennessee state fireworks law works is once the county reaches a population of 335,000, then fireworks are no longer licensed. Fireworks sales are no longer licensed in that county. We project Rutherford County is going to be right at that 335,000 in the 2020 census. So what we are trying to do, obviously we're making an investment in this building, trying to clean the facility up for the citizens of Laverne. But we do need to be able to maximize our investment between now and then because we might be forced out of business by the state between now and then. I understand what you're saying, that it might not be a functional sign for us, 3-4 years down the line, but we might not also be in business 3 or 4 years down the line.
Sure.
A lot of it's going to depend on the census, and obviously we'll work to try and get that law changed because this is a significant investment for us. But we're either 3 years or 13 years right now is the way we're looking at it.
Obviously, you've been down there. Do you see any other businesses down Mersborough Road that have that signage on the side of the building?
No, sir.
As you can see, obviously you've invested in the building. The city has invested, and a lot of developers around have invested in other buildings in Laverne, and have kindly adhered to our signage. Number one. Two is the overlay district and the colours and the materials used. And we're encouraging that because if you want to be part of the city, we want to help us out. Again, I'll just say to the board, I don't think it's a good idea to have the signage on either side of the building. I think it's appropriate for the front of the store. People know that when it's there, the pole sign is indication good there too. Business has been in business for many, many years, and people this day and age do GPS. They put the address in, and if they can't find it or don't know where it is, they put it in the phone, and off they go to the GPS. So, I would just like to have each signage on each building removed. Just have the front and the pole sign.
Can you live with that?
Well, I mean, we can go back and we can look at drawings and see how we can make the signage work within, the 325 square feet, if that's what you would like. It's fireworks. I will say fireworks sales is a very risky business. It's a one-time-a-year deal. That's why we're looking to come in and establish, clean a building up, maximize our investment, obviously, which will be several $100,000 into this building and this business. So, if the board could approve us cutting the sign between the tire building and us, and then would we be able to shrink the signage down on the side of Waldron Road and still have some signage there? Let's say if we just shrunk it down to fireworks and cut out the TNT oval, or vice versa, would you be acceptable for that?
What I would say is it would be nice if you come in and meet the assigned requirements.
Okay.
And give some ideas. I mean, you obviously heard my ideas and the rest of the board. You have an option. Obviously, it's not close to July the 4th, and it's not close to the end of the year, so you have some time. You're one of the businesses. So you have the right to defer. That'd be the right thing to keep you on the agenda, and then come back to this board with some other ideas that would suit the requirements. So I think that'd be beneficial for all parties.
Okay. Well, then right now we'll defer and we'll come back with some different ideas.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay. Perfect.
I would rather you defer and come back with some other ideas rather than we take a vote now and chance a no vote.
I understand completely. We'll come back. I'll come back with 2 or 3 different options.
We would appreciate it.
Okay.
And then if you would, just for the ease of this board, the quicker you get the signage to city staff in a electronic format, then the plan and blow over there can then email out to us, and we have some more time to look at it.
Okay.
It's very difficult for us if you get presented on the same night, if you get a chance to go and look and compare, and so the quicker you get that to the city staff, the quicker it gets out to us, the more beneficial it is for you.
I understand. I'm not that far away. I'm only 2.5 hours away, so it's not an inconvenience for me to be here. But we'll get that to you in the next week or two, and then we'll reapply.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your
Thank you,
cooperation.
gentlemen.
Thank you. We will now move to new business item number 2. And these are 2 different items. We can vote individually with them, but we can consider both at the same time since they're so similar. Variance requested by Huddleston Steel for Lot 8 and Lot 7 Riddle property located at 113 and 111 LaSalle Court, Light Industrial Zoning District, property owned by DNA Partnership. May we have the reports on this, Bo, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This applicant is requesting approval of a variance to the side yard requirements of the city, and the current zoning ordinance requires that 10 feet of the 20-foot side setback be dedicated to landscaping, grass, mulch, etc., and the variance will allow the applicant to put a surface down that is dustless. They're proposing tar and chip on the plans in your packet, and the tar and chip would be installed all the way to the property line. And this line is common to Lot 7, which is the lot next door. And this lot number 8 is 16,850 square feet, so a little over 1/3 of an acre. And there has been a sign posted on the property for 2 weeks, and staff has received no phone calls. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a representative here? Raise your right hand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, no but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'm Steve Steele with Huddleston Steel Engineering. Our offices are at 2115 Northwest Broad in Murfreesboro.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any comments in addition to what you've heard?
I'll just tell you real quickly, if I can, that this is part of a larger plan of development. It's actually zone commercial. It's a development that was started back in 2003 by Mr. Fred Ritter. There was a subdivision plat approved and recorded. There was a site plan that was approved on several occasions that included all of these lots. And subsequently, there have been, I think, 4 buildings completed and 2 more under construction or under contemplation. So what we're trying to do is to continue the design that was approved back in 2004, 6, 8, and 14. We think this may have come before the board previously. I'm not sure. I was getting ready for my meeting tonight, and I went to my old file, and I found some correspondence from the previous planner that indicated when we got the last 2 lots approved in 2014 that the side setback wasn't an issue, or I shouldn't say setback, the side yard requirement was not an issue because Mr. Ritter, who is deceased, had gotten that approved back in 2008. So we feel like it's appropriate. It matches that small little industrial community, and we would respectfully request that you grant us this again.
Okay, thank you. Any questions by board members?
Several, Mr. Steele, just on both lots, 7 and 8, the detention area has been built to retain the retention water that runs off the dustless surface?
It will be, yes, sir.
Okay. And is there going to be a dedicated fence between the 2 buildings?
I don't know if there's a fence planned or not. We're not showing one on our site plan.
So I believe on the other properties there were. I'm just answering, obviously, if you have 2 different tenants, that there's nobody parking on their side of the blacktop. That was my concern.
Yeah, it depends on the tenants and their relationship. I don't think, at Planning Commission a little later, we'll be looking at a site plan. And I don't think we show a fence on the site plan.
And the blacktop you indicated as chip and tar, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And the amount of car parking spaces, as indicated, meets the requirement of the building itself. That's what we've done for the other buildings, correct?
I think each lot will stand on its own in meeting the ordinance for parking. Yes, sir. They don't rely on each other.
Any other questions?
No question.
I'll entertain the motion.
So Mr. Chair, let's do this one at a time if you don't mind. So I'll make a motion for, for lots, 2 lots here we've got.
Well, one is at 113 LaSalle, one is at 111 LaSalle.
I'll make a motion to accept the variance as for 113 LaSalle Court as submitted.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve for 113. We'll have a voice vote for that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, none. So that one is approved. And I'll make a motion that we approve the one also for 111.
Second.
And it's moved and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, none. Both are approved, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. There not being any further business, meeting stands adjourned.